The air was thick with anticipation as Johnny Depp stepped onto the set of Jimmy Kimmel Live. On that fateful night in May 2025, his signature charisma radiating through the studio, the audience roared with excitement, expecting the usual blend of quirky humor and charm that Depp is known for, as he was there to promote his latest indie film, a gritty project touted as his big comeback. Jimmy Kimmel, with his sharp wit and playful demeanor, welcomed Depp warmly, cracking a few light-hearted jokes about his iconic roles in Pirates of the Caribbean and Edward Scissorhands. But beneath the surface, there was an undercurrent of tension, a subtle edge in Kimmel's tone that hinted at something more provocative to come. As the interview began, the conversation flowed smoothly at first, with Depp sharing anecdotes about his time on set and his passion for taking on unconventional roles. The crowd lapped it up, laughing at his stories of method acting and quirky character choices. Yet, as Kimmel steered the discussion toward Depp's personal life, specifically his highly publicized legal battles with Amber Heard, the mood shifted. Kimmel's questions grew pointed, probing into sensitive territory about the defamation trial and its aftermath. Depp's smile faltered, his eyes narrowing slightly, but he maintained his composure, offering measured responses about moving forward and focusing on his art. The audience sensed the shift, their laughter replaced by murmurs, as Kimmel pressed further, asking about rumors of Depp's behavior on set and his struggles with addiction. This was no longer the light-hearted banter they'd tuned in for. It was a verbal sparring match, and Depp was visibly uncomfortable. Social media was already buzzing with clips of the exchange, with fans divided, as some praising Kimmel for asking tough questions, others accusing him of ambushing a guest. The stage was set for a confrontation that would soon spiral out of control, leaving everyone in the studio and watching at home stunned. As the interview progressed, Kimmel's questions took on a sharper edge, veering into territory that felt less like journalism and more like provocation. He brought up a specific incident from Depp's past, a rumored altercation during the filming of a blockbuster that had resurfaced online. Depp, who had been deflecting with humor, grew visibly tense, his hands gripping the armrests of his chair. He tried to redirect the conversation, emphasizing his dedication to his craft and his desire to leave past controversies behind, but Kimmel wasn't letting up. The host doubled down, citing anonymous sources who claimed Depp had been difficult to work with, painting a picture of a troubled star struggling to reclaim his former glory. The audience, once lively, fell into an uneasy silence, sensing the mounting tension. Depp's responses became shorter, his tone clipped, as he countered that the media often twisted stories for clicks and sensationalism. He spoke passionately about the toll of public scrutiny, his voice steady but laced with frustration, as he described the years spent battling false narratives. Kimmel, perhaps sensing he'd struck a nerve, leaned in with a smirk, asking if Depp felt he was misunderstood or simply playing the victim. That comment hit like a spark to kindling. Depp's eyes flashed with anger, and he leaned forward, his voice slow but firm, accusing Kimmel of crossing a line by trivializing his experiences. The crowd gasped, some cheering Depp's defiance, while others sat in stunned silence. Behind the scenes, producers exchanged worried glances, aware that the interview was veering into dangerous territory. Posts later that night would call this moment the turning point, with hashtags like #Depp vs Kimmel trending worldwide as viewers debated whether Kimmel had gone too far or if Depp was overreacting. The clash reached its boiling point when Kimmel, undeterred by Depp's pushback, made a quip about the actor's colorful personal life, referencing tabloid headlines about his relationships and lifestyle. It was meant as a joke, but it landed like a punch. Depp's face hardened, and for a moment, it seemed he might laugh it off, as he'd done in countless interviews before. Instead, he stood up, unclipped his microphone, and tossed it onto the couch with a deliberate calm that was more chilling than any outburst. "I'm done here," he said, his voice steady but dripping with disdain, as he walked off the set to a chorus of gasps and murmurs from the audience. Kimmel, caught off guard, tried to salvage the moment with a nervous laugh, joking that Depp was off to find his pirate ship. But the humor fell flat, and the studio felt like a pressure cooker ready to burst. Backstage, Chaos erupted as producers scrambled to figure out what to do next. While Depp's team ushered him out of the building, the cameras kept rolling, capturing Kimmel's awkward attempt to transition to a commercial break, his usual confidence shaken. Social media exploded with reactions, from fans praising Depp for standing up for himself to others calling his exit a diva move. Clips of the walkout spread like wildfire, racking up millions of views on YouTube and X within hours. Commentators dissected every moment, with some outlets claiming Depp had been ambushed, while others argued he'd overreacted to fair questions. The incident sparked a broader conversation about the ethics of talk show interviews and whether hosts like Kimmel push boundaries for ratings at the expense of their guests' dignity. In the days that followed, the fallout from Depp's walkout dominated headlines and online discussions. News outlets like TodayNews.com reported that Depp had been kicked off the show, though eyewitnesses clarified he left voluntarily after the heated exchange. Kimmel addressed the incident on his next episode, offering a half-hearted apology while defending his role as a host to ask tough questions. "If you come on my show, expect a real conversation," he said, though many viewers felt his tone lacked sincerity. Depp, meanwhile, remained silent, letting his actions speak louder than any statement. His fans rallied around him, flooding X with messages of support, calling Kimmel disrespectful and accusing the show of exploiting Depp's past for drama. Others, however, felt Depp's exit was theatrical, pointing to his history of unpredictable behavior as evidence that he couldn't handle scrutiny. The controversy reignited debates about Depp's career and personal life, with some arguing he'd been unfairly targeted by the media for years, while others saw the clash as proof of his volatility. Industry insiders speculated about the impact on Depp's comeback, with some suggesting the incident could hurt his chances of landing major roles, while others believed it would only bolster his image as a defiant, authentic star. Behind the scenes, sources claimed Depp's team was furious with Kimmel's producers, alleging they'd been promised a friendly interview focused on the film. The clash also prompted discussions about the power dynamics between celebrities and talk show hosts, with some questioning whether Kimmel had deliberately provoked Depp to create a viral moment. The broader implications of the Depp-Kimmel clash extended beyond the two men, sparking a cultural conversation about the role of late-night television in an era of heightened sensitivity. Commentators on platforms like X and YouTube argued that talk shows have shifted from light entertainment to high-stakes battlegrounds, where hosts walk a fine line between humor and provocation. Some praised Depp for refusing to play along with what they saw as Kimmel's attempt to humiliate him, while others criticized the actor for not handling the situation with more grace. The incident drew comparisons to other infamous talk show moments, like Kanye West's clash with Letterman or Joaquin Phoenix's awkward Letterman interview years ago. Media analysts pointed out that Kimmel's approach, blending comedy with pointed questions, reflected a broader trend in late-night TV, where hosts compete for viral moments to stay relevant in a crowded digital landscape. For Depp, the walkout was both a risk and a statement, reinforcing his image as an artist who refuses to conform to Hollywood's expectations. Fans on X shared montages of his past interviews, highlighting his wit and vulnerability, arguing that Kimmel had misjudged his guests' limits. Meanwhile, Kimmel's defenders noted that Depp knew what he was signing up for, given the show's reputation for edgy humor. The clash also raised questions about how celebrities navigate personal controversies in public spaces, with some arguing that Depp's sensitivity to questions about his past showed he wasn't ready for the spotlight, while others saw his exit as a powerful rejection of sensationalism. As the dust settled, the Johnny Depp-Jimmy Kimmel clash remained the lightning rod for debate, with no clear winner in the court of public opinion. Depp's supporters continued to champion his walkout as a bold stand against media overreach, while Kimmel's fans argued he was simply doing his job as a host. The incident became a case study in the delicate balance between entertainment and respect, with both sides facing scrutiny. For Depp, the moment was a reminder of the challenges he faces in rebuilding his career amidst ongoing public fascination with his personal life. His next move, as to whether a return to blockbuster films or a continued focus on indie projects, would be watched closely, with the Kimmel clash adding another layer to his complex legacy. Kimmel, meanwhile, moved on to his next episode. But the incident left a mark, with some viewers calling for more accountability in how talk shows handle sensitive topics. On X, the conversation evolved into a broader critique of celebrity culture, with users debating the ethics of probing into stars' personal lives for entertainment. The clash, now immortalized in viral clips and memes, underscored the power of live television to amplify raw, unscripted moments, for better or worse. As one ex-post put it, Johnny Depp didn't just walk off Kimmel's stage, he walked away from the narrative they tried to write for him. Whether that narrative would shift in his favor or against him remained an open question, but one thing was certain: the world was still watching.